Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of My Dog Ate My Podcast. Today we're going to be chatting with Jediah, who's a lead product manager at MindBody and proud dog dad of Kora, the 4-year-old Rhodesian Ridgeback. Enjoy! Hi,
All right
Kora.
here. Oh, there you are, Kora. She's like waiting for the treats.
She's like, I
That's
don't really know. What was she doing right before this?
sleeping.
Sleeping,
100%. Yeah.
and that's what she would be doing if she wasn't doing this, I'm guessing.
Well, we might go like around the block to go potty because it's after work.
I definitely want to talk to you about her life since moving down to San Diego and like kind of her beach dog routine.
Her beach routine. Yeah, so she's so ridiculous. She loves it down here. She was made to be in the sun, and it is absolutely ridiculous. She's grown really soft whenever it gets cloudy at all. Um, so yeah, near us, probably about like 10-15 minute drive is the Del Mar Dog Beach. It's an off-leash dog beach. And so yeah, basically almost every day we take her there and she just runs around on the beach, plays with other dogs for about
That's
an
so
hour.
nice. And do you
Yeah.
see a lot of the same dogs there since you go pretty regularly?
So yes, interesting. Dwayne calls it summer camp. So it's this random thing. I think it's because there's so many tourists during the summertime that come through. So between June and August, they only allow off-leash dogs from like sun up to 8 a.m. And then after that, you have to be leashed, which sounds annoying. It can be annoying, but the positive on it is you get all the same dogs in that little hour time frame. So during the summertime, especially, we see the same dogs that she plays with. And August hits, and everyone kind of goes to their other times, and you see them every so often. But
And she likes the water, is that right?
no,
Hates the
she does
water.
not. I'd say hates is definitely a strong word. She stays away from the water. The only time she'll go in the water is if she's playing really hard and like a big current comes through and she doesn't really
Accidentally.
realize it. Yeah, she just kind of accidentally, especially if it's like 2-3 inches depth,
Mhm.
she'll run in it. But that's about it.
And that's pretty
Yeah,
characteristic of a Rhodesian, right? I feel like all the Rhodesians I've known have not liked the water at all.
yeah, very characteristic.
Yeah.
Our last Rhodesian, Kaya, would get in the water, but she would only get in the water if we threw food into the water, and then she would swim around to get all the food. But that was the only reason she would do it. But Cora doesn't even do that.
I think that would work on most humans. Just throw food
Right.
into the water, they'll run out and get it. I think that would work pretty well.
Yep.
Um, Tell me a little bit about what drew you to Rhodesians in the first place, because I know, at least in Seattle, they're pretty uncommon, and I
Yep.
don't know how many you see in San Diego, but I know they're not the most like common of breeds.
Yeah. See some down here, not a ton either. I think they're most common in the south, like Georgia and stuff, generally. But yeah, originally Dwayne, my husband, who you know, and I, when we were thinking about getting a dog, he initially really wanted a pit bull, and he's had pit bulls in the past, absolutely loves them, and so we're going down that path initially, and we were living in Pioneer Square downtown in Seattle. And my mom, when she caught wind that we were thinking about getting a pit bull, she basically was like, "Absolutely not! If you get a pit bull, I'm never coming to Seattle."
Oh,
And Dwayne had always had Rhodesians as his kind of second choice dog, and he mentioned that, and we started just doing all the research, and everything that came up with Rhodesian and their temperament and everything about them ticked all the boxes of a dog for us. You know, an athletic dog, but very treat food motivated, sleeps all day when they're inside. They just kind of hang out. So
do you know how Dwayne came to learn about or to know of or become interested in Rhodesians?
I think so. He lived in Atlanta for a long time, so I think from that he just ran into a lot of them. So it was always just through those meetings he had in his mind of a dog that a breed that he liked.
Yeah, that makes sense. And was it difficult to locate your first Rhodesian?
Yes. It's like secret society style. Yeah, definitely. Dwayne had to. reach out to people that he knew that were dog breeders of other types of dogs who gave him, well, I think this one person may breed Rhodesian Ridgebacks. And so
Mm,
through multiple different contacts of them, we found some, but none of them were had puppies or any plans. And then we finally found one person who was up in kind of just south of Bellingham that was known for breeding Rhodesian Ridgebacks. And we went and met her, and she initially told us there was no Rhodesian Ridgebacks available with the litter. They were all called for. And then after we went and saw her just to talk, because we were like, well, let's just see what happens. Yeah, maybe she'll give us another contact. And afterwards, she's like, "Well, you have passed the test pretty much." She's like, "I've got a good feeling about you guys." And because of that, we do have a Rhodesian puppy that is available. So
it was a trick.
it was very much kind of her way of weeding people out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that was that.
That's good. I mean, it's hard to find, like, reputable breeders too, and, like, you don't want somebody who's just like, "Oh, you want a puppy? Here, have a puppy. You get a puppy." Like, yeah, you wanna make sure that they're
Exactly.
doing their due diligence as well.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like you pass the secret test where we pretend we have no puppies at all, but actually we have this one just for you. And did you get to
Exactly.
pick out Cora, or was she the one that was, like, available? Or sorry,
So, well,
Kaya.
so Kaya, she was kind of picked for us, just based on the breeder talking to us, kind of what we knew and everything, what she knew about us and all that. She basically said this Kaya girl is the one for you. I think the other reason she was trying to get rid of Kaya, because the other dogs she was trying to be show dogs, and Kaya was show worthy, but she wasn't getting along with the grandmother, like the older dog around. And so that was another reason why she was like, this dog is not going to be a show dog for me. But that feistiness, she was like, I think you guys would be good with a dog, a Rhodesian that's a little feisty, which Kaya definitely was.
This puppy doesn't get along with grandma. And,
Oh, yeah.
okay, what about Cora then? I know you got Cora from a different breeder, but tell me a little bit about her selection process or the process you went through to find even, like, her breeder, like, all that stuff.
Yeah, so that was, I would say, relatively easier because once you've proven that you've had a Rhodesian and you can be a good parent to them. We actually had reached out to the original breeder that we got our Kaya at, and she had actually since retired and moved to Arizona. But she gave us kind of a list of dog breeders that bred Rhodesians that she would recommend, and so one of them was this another one that was in Cedar Woolley area, and when we reached out to her initially, she was doing the same. I have no dogs available; they're all accounted for. But then the moment she realized that we had Kaya and who the breeder was that we'd gotten Kaya through, she was like, "Well, if they had previously kind of gone through the hoops and figured out that you're good enough to have a Rhodesian, then you're good enough for our Rhodesians."
She's like, "Oh, wait, you already know
So
this trick."
pretty much. She was like, you've been vetted basically. Because of that, we were able to go up, meet all the puppies and everything, and we selected Cora based on just the temperament of her as a little puppy compared to all the others.
Did you look for anything different in Cora based on your experience with Kaya? Like, were you thinking, "I want just as sassy of a girl or less sassy," or, like, what did you look for based on your first dog learnings?
It was, I mean, it's always interesting with puppies because you don't really know what the personalities you see at that young age are really going to stick or not. And part of it was just which puppies really gravitated towards us, wanting
Yeah.
to hang out, be cuddly, and things like that. But then also just, how they were acting with the other puppies and dogs. Like, there was like one dog that was just nonstop energy running around trying to
Mhm.
like get into little fights with the other puppies. We're like, maybe that's not the one for us. Where Kora was just kind of hanging out, playing, and being just adorable.
And what are some of the traits that you see from Kaya and Cora since they overlapped for a little bit? Like, what have you seen that maybe Kaya instilled on Cora or what Cora might have picked up from her?
Ooh. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily picking up from Kaya per se, or if it's that plus other stuff. But Kora is someone who tends to be able to play really well with any dog, and that's always been something that's been good. to see like she can play with puppies, small dogs, big dogs, kind of all
Yeah.
that. And Kaya was very much similar in that way. And I think part of that was just even though Kaya did not like it when Cora first came to the house and she was like, "This is my territory," but she was always pretty good with being able to play with Cora when she was a puppy and playing well with her. And so seeing a lot of that kind of instilled with her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Kora was Bosco's girlfriend, and Bosco famously never likes any dogs. So,
Yep.
but he absolutely adores Cora. I think if he ran into her again, he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, my girlfriend. I love her." What are some of Cora's nicknames?
What are
Does
some
she
of
have any? I
Cora's
mean, she has such
nicknames?
a great, like,
Yeah,
succinct, easy to say name.
like it's not really nicknames per se. I mean, Cora, we definitely use Cora. We don't kind of do nicknames, but kind of just the typical like sweet pea, kind of little girl, things like that. But nothing that we would like use to call her, you know, call her name or anything.
In that case, maybe I was the only one who used nicknames with her because I would call her Bora Bora a lot. Even though that's longer than her actual name, I think I'd call her Bora
Yep.
Bora.
I think maybe if anything, the closest to a nickname is actually calling her Kaya because I made the mistake of making the names very too similar.
Yeah, but I like it, Kaya and Cora, and I think it's cute, and they're both very easy to say. I mean, I mix up my dog's names, and they're not even similar. I'll be like
All the
Rue,
time.
Pendleton, I mean Mocha. Like it's not even the same. So at least you have like an excuse. What would you imagine Cora's inner voice to sound like?
Gosh, what would her inner voice sound like?
Even if there's like a celebrity you can think of, or just like a
Kind of like a mix of, it has a little bit of sass, very much kind of that self-independence streak of things, and just kind of that sassy confidence. I can't think of like a specific celebrity that would hit that voice either, but
we'll just let's
just
just give her
definitely,
like I don't know Taylor Swift. She's Taylor Swift.
yeah.
I
I could see
think
it.
that
I could see
works.
it.
Yeah, yeah. What is Cora's? If she had sort of like a theme song, what would you say is her theme song?
The first song that came to my head was Beyonce's "Girls Who Run the World." Although I'm probably
Yeah,
getting the name wrong of that song, but just that the beat of the song and just how she's kind of dances to her own little drum.
I think she could also just be like Beyonce. She's a good Beyonce
Yeah,
dog. Yeah. Even though I think Beyonce probably doesn't spend most of the day sleeping, and I know Cora does, but
yeah,
when she's awake, she could be a good Beyonce dog.
yeah. But she's at the beach, dog beach or something. She's definitely that girl.
Well, I'll let Cora get back to sleep. And if anybody wants to follow Cora on Instagram, it's Cora.Ridgeback. Is that right? Yes,
Yeah,
it is
Cora Ridgeback.
Cora.Ridgeback. Perfect. Thanks so much for chatting
Awesome.
with me about Cora, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next month. And
Of
Cora.
course.
Thanks for listening or watching, and don't forget that you can subscribe to My Dog Ate My Podcast anywhere that you get podcasts, and you can follow Cora on Instagram at Cora.Ridgeback. Thanks, and see you next time.